is WHEC TV, proudly serving Rochester. News 10 NBC starts right now.
We're following breaking news at this hour. Rochester police leaders and the Rochester Fire Department taking questions on a deadly fire. It's happening now at the Public Safety Building.
The fire broke out last night at the home on the corner of Silver and Hurdle Streets. One person died, 6 others were injured. Family members tell us today the person who died is a young mother. We have a live look at the setup inside the Public Safety Building. We will bring you some of the questions and answers live as soon as this begins. Now, earlier today, we spoke with the family members and friends of the woman who died. They tell us she is 34-year-old Champagne Singleton. Amanda Shivari joins us now with more on who she is.
Brett, the family tells me that Champagne Singleton loved her children and always put them first. Tonight, they are waiting to hear what caused the fire that took the life of a woman they say had an energy that could make anyone smile.
The older lady that would come from behind the fence was like, somebody's still in there, somebody's still in there.
Sadly, that person, 34-year-old Champagne Singleton, lost her life. Firefighters weren't able to go into the home to rescue her because the fire was too intense. Willie Robinson lives down the street and shared with us how he helped save several people from the fire.
As soon as I came out the door, you seen the fire coming from this porch right here. I come bolting up the street, and as I'm getting close, I'm hearing them banging on the window real hard. Next thing you know, it just broke. By the time I got halfway, one lady come hanging out. As I'm running up, I said, just jump, just jump, just jump. Broke her fall a little bit. Then as soon as she came down, another one came flying right out behind the phone. As soon as I broke her fall, I looked up, the baby was dangling, just hanging. And I just said, baby, let it go, let go, let go. And I caught her. Wow.
All of this happening as firefighters were racing to the scene.
At the same time, the fire was so great, it done moved so fast since I seen it. By the time they dropped, the whole building just went up and like, woof.
The 6 people who made it out of the home were taken to the hospital and are expected to be okay. Tonight, family and friends are remembering Singleton. She has 3 young children and a personality friends say was infectious and inspiring.
I did what I could. It hurts my heart that, somebody passed away, but it's sad.
Again, we are expecting an update from both the Rochester Police Department and the Rochester Fire Department any moment now. As of our last update with the fire department, we were told investigators have not yet determined a cause when it comes to this fire. But Janet and Brett, they have also not ruled out arson.
Amanda, thank you very much. And now we understand that we can take you to that news conference that's underway at the Public Safety Building. That's
Ready?
Simonelli.
Okay, good evening, and thank you for coming. We have received a number of inquiries regarding the fatal fire at 30 Hurdle Street, and we'll try to answer those inquiries as best we can now.
They are calling it now an arson homicide.
And they did mention a man by the name of Lawrence Emery Dash, a person of interest that they are trying to locate at this hour. They have a photograph that they're distributing, and we will get that on the air as soon as we have it back here in-house. We'll continue to follow this and bring you more of what investigators had to say coming up tonight at 6.
Today, loved ones are remembering the young boy who was hit and killed by a pickup truck last night.
Family members identify him as 2-year-old Josiah Burnett. Police say this happened on Parcells Avenue just after 5 o'clock last night. Rachel Spotts spoke with the boy's mother today. She joins us live from Parcells Avenue. Rachel?
Brett, the 2-year-old boy was hit just across, just over my shoulder here on Parcells Avenue. This time last night, the family getting ready for a vigil tonight at 7 p.m. I'll step out of the way. You can see right now candles, teddy bears, balloons set up, as well as family and friends gathering in the spot where this toddler was killed.
Right now, we're empty. My heart is black. I'm missing a part of me that I can never get back.
Crystal Goyne says her son, Josiah, had just turned 2 years old.
It's the life of the house. It keeps us all happy.
His family called him Pee-wee. They say he was full of energy and always had a smile on his face.
He completed our circle.
He made everybody smile.
He made us whole. We were okay, but he completed us.
How do you want him to be remembered?
Pee-wee was such a happy baby. He was full of life. He just touched so many people, even those who really didn't know him. he would just smile and you'll just fall in love with him.
Police say the 2-year-old was hit and killed last night outside his home on Parcells Avenue. His mom says he was playing basketball with a few of his older brothers.
His brother was wanting to get a ball. He ran behind his brother. They were not in the street. They were at the curve. The driver was swerving. She missed my one son and hit my 2-year-old.
At the time, it was dark outside, but the family says the driver should have been paying attention. Rochester police are continuing to investigate, but at this point have not filed any charges against the driver.
They're kids. They should be able to play on their street, and for somebody to just hit him while he's just playing is just a tragedy.
This pain will never go away, and this is something me and my family will have to get through.
And the family has set up a GoFundMe page to help with funeral costs. We have a link for you at our website, WHEC.com. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll show you why the family is calling for streetlights and even a speed bump here on Parcells Avenue. For now, we're live in Rochester. Rachel Spots, News 10 NBC.
Rachel, thank you. A massive search underway at a local landfill after a Jewish artifact was accidentally thrown away at a Brooklyn synagogue. Check this out, surveillance video from inside that synagogue. You can see tefillin bags. Those are tefillin bags, which contain scrolls of parchment inscribed with verses from the Torah and prayer cloths. Look at that. That one just fell out of its cubby and right into the trash. From there, it traveled by truck and train to High Acres landfill here in Fairport. And that's where dozens of volunteers have been searching for it for 2 days now.
It's devastating and it's very sad because you want that sentimental item. First of all, for the holiness of the item, you don't want it being, tossed and who knows where it's going to end up landing at the end of the day. So we want to prevent that. And the second thing is he wants the item that he wore all those years that he prayed with to God. That's, he wants to keep doing it with the same exact, clothing as he always did. That's why it's so sentimental.
Yeah, is he an older
Jennifer Lukey spoke with the volunteers today. She has pictures of the search that is underway and information about a reward that's being offered to the person who finds this artifact. She joins us live from that landfill tonight at 6. Well, it's official. Charter Communications moving its regional headquarters to our area. Governor Andrew Cuomo was in town today to make that announcement. This means 200-plus jobs are coming to Henrietta. This comes less than a month after Verizon announced it's closing its call center in Henrietta, displacing some 600 employees. Senator Chuck Schumer released a statement today. It says in part, quote, these 220 new local jobs will help Charter Communications cement its place as a staple in the Rochester area business community and hopefully serve as a reminder for other telecommunications companies that they can thrive and grow in upstate New York. End of quote.
Now a New York State Exposed follow-up. We've been telling you about the vote on whether state legislators should be granted a pay raise. Well, today the Wage Commission met and it rejected proposals to raise lawmakers' salaries.
Doing our duty does not require us to agree with you, nor does it require us to vote for an increase under some set of negotiated circumstances.
Lawmakers now make $79,500 for what is technically a part-time job. They haven't had a raise since 1999, but still make the third highest legislative salary in the country. But the commission, with the power to grant a raise, balked at the idea. In Rochester today, Governor Cuomo said the commission's actions reflected the will of the people.
Those legislators who say, well, the committee should act despite the overwhelming sentiment of the people of this state. How absurd a proposition.
The pay raise issue may not be dead. Lawmakers could still convene a special session this year to vote on an increase or appoint a new commission to reconsider.
Well, millions expected to travel for Thanksgiving.
Coming up, why the TSA is halting the expansion of its pre-check program. That's next. We continue to follow breaking news out of Rochester. We now have that photo of the man police call a person of interest in a deadly fire in Rochester last night. There he is. He is 62-year-old Lawrence Emery Dash. Police and fire investigators now classify this case as an arson homicide. Investigators ask you to take a look at this photo. If you recognize Lawrence Emery Dash and you know where he is, they're asking you to call 911.
If you're thinking about applying for the TSA PreCheck program, you may want to hear this. According to the Los Angeles Times, the TSA says it is halting the expansion of the program. It cites increased and evolving cybersecurity risks over the past year.
Well, we've brought you stories from around the country. Parents accused of using drugs while caring for children.
Do our current laws do enough to protect children? Nikki Rudd takes this question to a local sheriff. Hear his thoughts coming up at 5:30.
First, we've had a lot of warm weather this November, but Kevin is tracking a significant change. Find out when it'll feel more like winter next on News 10 NBC. Time now for a look at your forecast with your hometown weather expert, Kevin Williams.
Uh-oh, it's time for me to find my boots, right? My boots and my gloves.
You have 4 days. You have
It's going to take me 4 days.
It might take you, I was going to say, it might take you 4 days. But yeah, I mean, there are some significant changes coming. You know, we've been talking about this, as you know, for a couple of months. But now the computer models are coming into line and giving some, you know, verification potentially. Nothing has happened yet, but the idea now, some of the elements are coming together. So we'll follow that, we'll track it, but we're good to go short term. As I said, there are no concerns. What a lovely day today. Potentially, at least in the 60s, that it's windy with showers Saturday, falling temperatures, early high of 61, and that it's windy and raw, much colder Sunday, rain turning over to a wet snow, and then lake enhanced or lake effect snow and flurries Sunday night, Monday, with those temperatures mostly below the freeze point during that time. Thus the change that we have been alluding to for some time.
You see the gleam in his eye?
Yeah, I see it, and I know it, Kevin.
Oh, you too. Brent is a closet snow lover.
I love it. I really love it. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you. Coming up, the Bills make an addition to their defense.
Plus, the Syracuse Orange hit the basketball court for another early season tune-up game. Rich Donnelly has that next in sports.
Now, News 10 NBC Sports with Rich Donnelly.
The Buffalo Bills are continuing to revamp their defense, and the competition for a starting job in the secondary just got tighter. Today, the team announced that they signed veteran safety James Ihedebo. Ihedebo played for Rex Ryan with the Jets 6 years ago, but has not played in the NFL since being released by Detroit after last season. Ihedebo brings a considerable amount of experience to a secondary that desperately needs it after that injury to Aaron Williams. He's a 9-year pro, helped Baltimore win a Super Bowl.
Time to get it going.
Thank you very much.
News 10 NBC at 5 continues next. We're tracking breaking news. Police searching for a person of interest in connection with that fire that took the life of a young mother. We'll have an update.
Plus, there's a type of gun on sale in stores right now, causing a lot of concern. Pat Taney bought one and asked some people in Rochester about it. You'll see their reactions in his Good Question report next on News 10 NBC. We continue to follow breaking news in a deadly fire in Rochester last night. Just minutes ago, police announced that this fire is a case of arson homicide.
They also call this man a person of interest. He is 62-year-old Lawrence Emery Dash. If you know where he is, investigators ask you to call 911. Police and friends tell us that 34-year-old Champagne Singleton died in the fire. 6 others, including 3 young children, suffered injuries. The fire started around 8 last night on Hurdle Street. The 6 people inside jumped from windows to escape the home. Minutes ago, we asked police why they classify this as a case of arson homicide.
Talking to individuals at the scene, as well as physical evidence, as well as analyzing the burns, we've concluded that it was intentionally started. As far as the exact cause and what type of device was used, that's something that we cannot discuss at this point in time for the integrity of the investigation.
So right now, take another look at the man who police say they're calling a person of interest. This is the picture. This is involved in last night's deadly fire on Hurdle Street. Right now, investigators looking for this man, 62-year-old Lawrence Emery Dash. If you know where he is, police ask you to call 911.
There's a type of gun being sold in local stores right now, and it's causing concern.
Take a look at this. Do you think this is real, or do you think it's fake? Well, if you think it's real, you're not alone. However, this is actually a BB gun made to look like a real rifle. Pat Taney had someone ask him about this for this week's Good Question report.
The question I was asked, why are those BB guns allowed to look real? A valid question coming just months after a teen was shot and killed by police for using one of them.
We bought one for $10. Then asked one simple question.
Real or fake?
look real.
Police agree.
It definitely causes a concern for us because we see a weapon.
September, Columbus, Ohio. 13-year-old Tyree King shot and killed after pulling a BB gun from his waistband. Police thought it was real.
Manufacturers try to replicate actual life weapons because they sell better.
And it's perfectly 100% legal, unlike toy guns.
Any toy manufactured or sold in the United States has to have an orange tip.
BB guns can look like the real thing. According to the law, it's because A, they can still cause injuries and in rare cases even death. B, there's an age restriction to buy them.
For a BB gun, you have to be 16 years of age or older.
But still, a lot of people
like to see it like it look more fake than real.
And police say something has to change with these.
So from a law enforcement standpoint, would you like to see BB guns marked a little bit more clear?
Absolutely. You know, when your life is in danger or someone else's life is in danger and you see a weapon pointed at someone, sometimes you don't have that extra second or split second to make that decision whether it's real or not real.
I looked into this and can tell you there is discussion in Albany right now to put orange tips on BB guns. The measure at last check was discussed under the Senate Codes Committee and may be brought back up when lawmakers reconvene in January. Back to you.
Pat Taney, thank you. A local mother accused of being on drugs while caring for her child. Deputies say it was heroin, and it's a problem across the country. Nikki Rudd is taking a closer look to see if our current laws do enough to protect children.
The Manchester mother is facing drug charges. Deputies say Katie Borst was on drugs while caring for her 10-year-old son. She's also charged with endangering the welfare of a child, but that is just a misdemeanor. Our question, should people face tougher charges if they're on drugs while caring for children? We took that question to Ontario County Sheriff Phil Povereau.
The heroin issue is a constant source of communication, discussion, and dialogue between law enforcement and the New York State Sheriffs.
Sheriff Phil Povereau has seen the effects of heroin like the rest of the country. These pictures and video out of Ohio and Wisconsin have gone viral. Parents overdosed on heroin while caring for children. Povereau is a member of the New York State Sheriff Association Legislative Committee. He says this issue is on their radar.
We'll look at in the early part of the year the possibility of legislation that would enhance the penalty for persons found to be under the influence of heroin or opioid or some other narcotic substance while they're in the care of children.
A tougher penalty could be similar to the Leandra's Law, where drivers face a felony DWI charge if they're driving drunk with a child in the car. When it comes to substance abuse problems, Povereau says the numbers are staggering. Of all the people arrested in Ontario County last month, more than 90% reported having a drug or alcohol problem or addiction.
Whatever the penalties and the crimes are, we still can't arrest ourselves out of this terrible epidemic, and we need to involve the whole community in trying to resolve the problem, again, with prevention, law enforcement, and the recovery on the end.
In this most recent case, the mother, Katie Borst, is still in jail. No word on who is caring for her son right now, but we can tell you Ontario County Child Protective Services is also investigating. Nikki Rudd, News 10 NBC.
The decision 2016, House Republicans have renominated Paul Ryan for Speaker. They picked Ryan at a closed-door meeting today. Some lawmakers say Ryan hasn't been sufficiently aggressive at pursuing conservative causes. Others were unhappy he refused to campaign for Donald Trump. Ryan must still win the formal election when the full House picks its Speaker. That's slated to happen January 3rd when the new Congress convenes. According to the Associated Press, House Democrats have decided to delay their leadership elections. They had been scheduled for Thursday, but will now happen November 30th. Democrats will decide whether to keep Nancy Pelosi or go with someone else. Democrats gained seats in last Tuesday's election, but not as many as initially expected.
A city pilot program encouraging drivers to be safe and responsible is now expanding. That word from Mayor Lovely Warren today. The Pace Car Traffic Calming Program asks drivers to sign a pledge and display a sticker on the back of their vehicle. That sticker tells drivers behind them that they will not drive over the speed limit and they will yield to pedestrians, among other safe driving practices. This started as a pilot program in the southeast part of the city back in August of 2015.
In Southeast Rochester, my understanding that it was great for to calm traffic, especially in that area. Having someone setting the pace, slowing down, and being very conscious of what's happening in their neighborhood, in their community, helps a lot.
If you're interested in taking part in the Pace Car program, we have a link for you to sign up. It's at WHEC.com. All you have to do is look under web links. Well, you'll want to stay away from these toys when shopping for children this year. NBC News has the list of the 10 most hazardous toys released by child safety activists, included the slingshot, inflatable suits, and a Warcraft hammer. The group World Against Toys Causing Harm aims to give parents a heads up that some toys are more dangerous than others. There are some surprises on this list, like a large stuffed elephant that could be dangerous to an infant. Well, if you buy Weight Watchers products, we have a recall to tell you about. Coming up, the concerns over one of the frozen desserts.
Plus, hearing this might make you queasy. A woman claims she had a rodent sewn into her dress. Up next, hear what she says she came down with shortly after wearing it. Checking Wall Street now. The Dow gained 54 points today. The Nasdaq rose 57 and the S&P 500 closed up 16. In stocks of local interest, Kodak and Paychex finished the day down. Windstream and Xerox posted gains today. We have a recall to tell you about involving Mazda RX-8 sports cars in the U.S. The recall covers the RX-8 from model years 2004 to 2008. About 70,000 vehicles are affected. According to U.S. safety regulators, there's an issue with fuel pump sealing rings that may deteriorate, leak fuel, and catch fire. Mazda says it'll notify owners and replace the ring set free of charge.
The company Retail Me Not is delivering a surprising Cyber Monday statistic. 94% of employed consumers plan to shop at work this year. The report says the average work shopper plans to spend 4 hours searching for deals. 1 in 4 employed Americans surveyed said they would be willing to take the whole day off in order to score the best deals.
Check your freezer if you buy Weight Watchers frozen products. There's a recall tonight. We found the FDA notice through a report on NBC New York. The recall affects chocolate chip cookie dough sundae desserts. The FDA notice says the supplier of the cookie dough pieces reported positive test results for listeria. The notice says this affects about 100,000 cases of the desserts. There is a list of UPC codes and Best Buy dates through a link on our website at WHEC.com. Just click on web links.
Well, just the thought of this next story makes me squeamish, so be warned. A woman in New York City says she bought a new dress and later found a rat sewn into the hemline. Now she's filing a lawsuit against the designer, Zara of Connecticut. Take a look at this photo. This is one of the photos shown in court. They appear to show what looks like a rodent's leg in that material. The 24-year-old woman claims she suffered not only emotional distress, but now she has a rodent-borne disease. She says she kept smelling a very pungent odor when she wore the dress, and that's when she says she discovered the dead rodent's leg.
That thing goes right in the garbage, right? There's no saving that dress.
No, not even a discussion, not even the
Not
thought.
even the discussion. A man is accused of terrorizing his neighbors with an air horn. If you think that's crazy, wait until you see his mugshot.
Oh, I can't wait. Plus, McDonald's making it easier for you to find the McRib sandwich. What a new app will allow you to do coming up. But first, let's check in with our hometown weather expert, Mr. Kevin Williams. Talking snow.
Yes, I mean, interesting news there. Boy, that's a mouthful right there, guys. Yeah, we are. We're thinking possibly accumulating snow as we head into Sunday and Monday for some areas. A real significant change is coming, but with lots of time to watch it. A couple of nice days are coming. The details are coming up in just a few moments.
We are following breaking news out of Georgia, where investigators remain on the scene of a crash between a tractor trailer and a train. Amazingly, they tell us no one was hurt. This picture and information comes to us from the Atlanta NBC affiliate, WXIA. Here are live aerials from Norcross, about 45 minutes northeast of Atlanta. The cleanup of debris, oh, this is expected to take hours.
That it is. Well, talking about cleanup, we may be cleaning up our driveways come next week a little bit, huh?
It'll be interesting because the leaf season was delayed. In addition to being vibrant, there's still trees with leaves on them, people still raking. It's one of those deals where it's going to be a race, potentially. Get the leaves up, get the gutters cleaned, and then comes some snow. And it's still questionable whether this is novelty snow Sunday, Monday, or inches and significant. And we're going to follow this, of course, very closely. But sometimes you have that where it's a real battle to get the leaves done and then move on to the winter. But today, what a great day. I brought along a loop of Lake Ontario from Forest Lawn today. And just, I wanted to point out a couple things. First, the very placid waters. That's going to change in a big way this weekend. And then just the beautiful skies. A lot of reports of some wonderful color in that sky coming in. So really, Friday, can you say Indian summer again? Could be. We're pushing 70 perhaps on Friday. And then watch everything kind of drop on Saturday. Wind whip showers, 61. Temperature falls through the day. And then Sunday, rain and or wet snow, 41. And then some lake effect or lake enhanced snow wrapping around that system Sunday night, Monday. Leftover flurries on Tuesday. Sometimes history tells us, and I'm a student of weather history here, it flips like that.
Yeah.
And you go from la-di-da to holy cow, Martha, we're shoveling this morning.
Yep.
And not saying that's going to happen. I have seen it happen. Weak La Nina winters tend to do that. So that's why I'm going to be especially vigilant. We've been talking about that for the Sunday, Monday time frame.
Reminds me of the ice storm. Was it 1990?
91.
Well, yeah, the ice storm was 91.
Was
Yeah.
One day it was nice,
Yes.
the next day.
Yeah, that's
ice.
true. That's true.
Every
Certainly
day.
no concern
No
about
ice
that.
here.
Yeah,
No,
but
no,
it does
not
change.
Yeah.
It does change.
Kevin, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, calling all McRib fans, yes, the sandwich made its seasonal return to participate in McDonald's this year. And you can use your smartphone now to find them. McDonald's launched a new app called the McRib Finder. It uses a smartphone's GPS to find the closest participating restaurant to you. It also allows users to share that information with friends.
Got to have your McRib. Well, this next story got our attention because of the details and the mugshot. Police near Los Angeles arrested a man accused of blowing an air horn in neighborhoods for weeks. This story comes to us from our affiliate in Los Angeles. Here is the mugshot of the suspect from the police department in El Segundo. His name is John Nugent. Police say they've received numerous reports of an air horn going off, then people seeing a man in a blue car drive away. On Sunday around 4 a.m., officers say they heard the horn, then stopped a car and saw air horn equipment in the back seat. Shortly after, they took Nugent into custody. He's facing a misdemeanor charge. Police say they're not sure yet why he was doing it.
Looks like he's been hearing a few blasts.
That's just mean,
over the last few
right?
days. It is. It is.
Well, an auction featuring the earliest known stone inscription of the Ten Commandments. We'll tell you about the stipulations the new owner must abide by.
Plus, what Twitter is doing to help its users avoid harassment and hateful speech on the social media site. It's all next.
Twitter is going to make it easier for users to report and mute harassment and abuse. According to a report published on CNBC, the social media site is upgrading its mute feature. In addition to allowing users to mute accounts they don't want to see tweets from, they'll be able to mute certain words, phrases, and notifications. The site is also upgrading its tools to allow users to directly report different types of conduct that violates Twitter's policies.
Well, how would you like to own a piece of history? According to CNN, the earliest known stone inscription of the Ten Commandments is going on the auction block. We have a picture of it. According to the report, the stone will be auctioned off in Beverly Hills tomorrow. The opening bid, $250,000. There is a stipulation, however. The new owner must put it on public display. The report says the stone was first uncovered in 1913 during excavations for a railroad station. It's thought to be the only intact tablet version of the Ten Commandments to exist.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
amazing. News 10 NBC continues in just a moment.
Jennifer Lukey joins us with a preview of her story at 6.
Brett, Janet, a search is underway here at a local landfill for a Jewish artifact that fell into a trash can in Brooklyn. Coming up, I'll explain how it ended up here, how many people are searching for it, and how much they're offering in a reward.